Hi, it's Lenny Liebman of Dark Reading, and I'm here at RSA San Francisco with Russ Spitler, who's SVP of Products for AlienVault. Russ, it's good to see you.
It's great to be here this afternoon.
So I know that you're here because you've got a big product announcement, OTX Endpoint Threat Hunter, but before we talk about that, I really would like to get your opinion about kind of the big framing of the industry, which to me is an ever-growing threat tsunami counterposed against really limited resources in terms of budget and headcount and skills.
I think it's an interesting point that you bring up there, because certainly there's a perception that there's a growing threat tsunami, but really what you've seen over the last few years is a change in tactics from the criminal organizations that are behind a lot of these campaigns. And really what we used to see before 2013 and towards the late knots in the 08-09 is we saw a lot of targeted campaigns against large organizations, financial services, military. But since 2013, it's been a major shift towards more of a consumer focus. And of course, the rise of ransomware was the criminals finding a way to make money off of us as individuals. And that has really put us in the forefront of this conversation and really helped raise awareness of the threat that was always there, but now we're feeling a little bit more viscerally.
So maybe you do want to now tell me about OTX Endpoint Threat Hunter and what it does.
Yeah, absolutely. And so OTX Endpoint Threat Hunter is built on top of Open Threat Exchange, which is our crowdsourced threat intelligence platform. We have more than 80,000 people contributing information to us daily from more than 140 countries. What that gives us is an incredible wealth of threat intelligence, of emerging and evolving threats from all over the world. And with Endpoint Threat Hunter, what we've now enabled is for users of that platform to be able to simply install an agent and then be able to scan their endpoints for evidence that any of these threats are present there.
And you're giving it away for free.
We're giving it away for free. Open Threat Exchange has always been an open community. That's one of the powers that we see, and of course the breadth of our contributions that we get from those participants. It's really a stone soup approach to threat intelligence. Everybody brings a little something and they go away with what everybody else has brought as well. With Endpoint Threat Hunter, now this allows us to extend that visibility, gives more compelling reason to participate, and of course in the future we are eager to help extend those capabilities to allow people to contribute some threats that they find with those agents themselves.
Gotcha, so that makes sense. And you mentioned ransomware, so do you want to specifically connect the dots between Threat Hunter and ransomware?
Well, this is one of the things that we've seen as part of that emerging trend, which is a lot more focus on those endpoints. Not only is it a point of entry into an organization through the traditional phishing campaigns, but now it's what they actually exploit when they're trying to make money. And so visibility into those endpoints is absolutely critical, and particularly as you start to see more industry-targeted ransomware campaigns going after healthcare, after law firms, it's really critical to get that visibility down to the endpoint and making sure that you can address those threats as well.
And other threats that you think are particularly interesting that we might want to be thinking about in these terms?
Yeah, and so this is one of the other more recent revelations is as people have gone to ransomware, they've also realized just using your CPO and crypto mining and creating cryptocurrency. And that's a common attack vector we see today. If you're able to install a crypto miner on somebody's machine, it can actually continue there for months, if not years, before they unplug the machine and throw out the computer. And so very valuable for the hackers to be able to just gain access from that perspective and of course start mining those cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, I think one of the concerns we always have though when we're at a show like RSA and somebody does make a product announcement is that we've got a lot of products already, and there's also a lot of stuff we're shopping for here. So we have some concerns about kind of the complexity of our own arsenal, right? I mean, our environments are inherently complex, and we've got a lot of technologies to manage. We have to manage relationships with all those vendors. We have to have people training all these products. Maybe you want to help me understand how it is I'm going to acquire your technology without adding too much of a burden on my staff.
I think it's a really good point. I think it's one that as an industry we're really waking up to. One of the things that I always encourage people that I talk with to evaluate when they're working with vendors, do they have open platforms? Do they have open integrations? Do they have APIs that allow you to work with the other vendors that are out there? It's the core thesis of AlienVault, and to have that open approach, and particularly with Open Threat Exchange and our open API and open availability for anybody to participate, it's a key tenet for what we've developed as our product philosophy. And it's really critical for anybody to be looking at intercompatibility an opportunity for those technologies to work together in order to ultimately solve the threat. None of us are going to solve it alone, but certainly we can do a lot to help.
Anything else you want to share, maybe a next step or anything else in closing?
Yeah, absolutely. I encourage everybody to check out OTX Endpoint Threat Hunter at otx.alienvault.com. Again, open participation. Really encourage everybody in the security industry. At least take a look and try it out and see how it works for them.
Great. Good talk to you, Russ.
Great to talk to you as well.
It's Lenny Liebman of Dark Reading here at RSA San Francisco. Thanks so much for watching.